I'm like, or I'm bad.
Yeah, but it's a fictional story, though.
It's so crazy, man.
Bad was him trying to keep up with the rappers of the day.
Which was a great song, man.
It was, yeah.
I mean, if you could say that is a mental illness. Like, Michael, you know damn well you ain't bad. You know damn well you ain't bad.
Bro, you weigh 110 pounds. Like, I don't know if you ever fought anybody in your life.
Your butt is mine. Nobody's believing you. Nobody's believing you, bro. And rest in peace to the GOAT.
I don't know. Maybe he took some martial arts or something.
Hey, blast off, I can talk my ass off. Hey, Smokey, what you seen, and I'll tell you what I saw. Hollywood, what you think, and I'll tell you what I thought. And we can talk about it all when we here on Trash Talk. Hey.
What's going on, everybody? We're back with another episode of the Trash Talkers Podcast.
We made it.
What's up, Smoke Dog?
Oh, man, ducking them storms and whatnot.
Oh, man, yeah.
Does it feel like we are getting storms more often these days?
Yes.
I think so, too. Yeah, I was seeing this thing that someone was saying that the Tornado Alley, you know, it used to be up through Texas, Oklahoma, and throughout the mid part of America, middle America.
Where the movie Twister was filmed.
Yeah, exactly. But now they're saying it's shifting eastward, and it's more into the southeast now. So that may be part of it. But it's crazy. I remember when I was a kid, we get a tornado warning like once a summer or once a spring. And now we're getting it like every couple of weeks.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a tornado with your own two eyes in Georgia?
Not in Georgia.
I've never seen a tornado.
I know it hits all the time, but the only place I saw one in real life was in West Texas.
Yeah, I've never seen a tornado. I've never seen one. But you're right, though. We're seeing a lot now, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it might be something with the way the earth is turning. And
I will say here, though, it's harder to see because there's not a bunch of open flat land.
It's not flat.
Hills everywhere. So it's really hard to see one off in the distance, but I know they come through all the time.
Yeah, man. You got to stay safe out there because we know we had fire on the West Coast not too long ago.
Oh, man. Now it's all through the middle America.
100%.
Fires everywhere.
Man, it's getting close to spring break and vacation
Getting close
time,
to the apocalypse.
God dang, I'm looking forward to vacation. Jesus Christ. Yes, the apocalypse, but it's one of those ones where, man, you take it as it comes, dude.
Yep.
You know,
what can you do?
There ain't nothing you can do about it, but try to make the best out of any bad situation. But no, if you guys are new here, we always read the top 3 comments from our previous podcast, which happened to be the grunge aesthetic. From music to fashion. The number 3 most liked comment from that podcast comes from Krista Spetch. Shout out to you, Krista. Krista says, I think I was No, sorry. It was Krista. I saw you number 2, actually. Number 3 comes from Miss Foodie Diva. Shout out to you, Miss Foodie Diva. Grunge fashion was answer to 80s fashion. Okay. Jesus Christ, why am I missing this? Yes, grunge fashion was answer to the 80s fashion. 80s fashions included leg warmers, big hair, stir-up pants, champion sweatshirts, pump-up sneakers, LA Gear sneakers, hammer pants, muscle guys wearing gym leopard pants, bomber jackets, Top Gun, and Airwolf was everywhere, especially for females with Pat Benatar look.
I remember the members only jackets.
Or what about the starter jackets? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody had loved starters.
I think I guess that started in the late 80s, huh?
Late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
It was around that time. The number 2 most liked comment is to you, Krista. Krista says, I appreciate how you guys share your personal stories. Thank you for that. It's amazing how topics get us talking about so many things.
Oh, yeah.
And the number 1 most liked comment from that podcast goes to Sterling. Sterling says, 34 minutes and 12 seconds. 420 for life. Puff, puff, pass. And I know what Sterling's referring to there.
What part of the podcast was that about?
No, he's saying that because he said apparently this, and Sterling, correct me if I'm wrong, but he did it in a podcast before that. He was like, because we had said, to people who stay around and watch to the very end.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, he's like, I'm 34 minutes 12 seconds in, I'm still going. So shout out to you.
It's still puffing away.
Still listening to us puffing and talking away, man.
Absolutely.
Today's topic, Smokey. Interesting.
Oh, it's a deep one. Yeah. Mental health in music and fame in general, really. Here's the thing. As artists, we all deal with mental health issues. And I know most of the world does now. It feels like everybody has some kind of affliction. There's no way around it. Everything or everyone, has some disorder in some way. But in music and artistry in general, you almost have to have something going on that ear regulates your brain, that makes you an artist. It's a gift and a curse.
Yeah, I mean that it's part of your style, when it comes to writing music, when it comes to making paintings. I mean, I think, if I'm not mistaken, who was that took his ear off? Was that Da Vinci?
Van Gogh, right?
It was Van Gogh, and I think he did that for a chick that he loved so much. But that's a mental illness, bro.
That's sad, yeah.
But had some great paintings,
but
it
made him one of the greatest artists of all time. Yeah.
Before we hop in too deep on that, I got a new doctor, right? And she's from Nigeria, and born and raised her majority of her life in Nigeria. And we were talking about panic attacks, and I asked her, I was like, "Have you ever had a panic attack?" She said, "No, because in my country we don't have those things." And I started to think like that, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, is it something that's just ingrained in Americans?" She's like, "In my country, we don't deal with panic attacks. We just deal with it. We don't.
That makes me think about this study that had been done, and they were calling it memetic diseases. Like the term meme, something that goes viral.
Yeah.
So a memetic disease would be something that really did not exist or existed on a very small level.
And then everyone starts to
until
get
someone
it viral.
famous has it, and
now
then all
everybody
these people have it. And it kind of spreads like wildfire at that point. Like sometimes it may be something that didn't really exist until you heard somebody else had it, and then you're like, "Oh, I think I got it."
Yeah, I think
too.
I got it too. It's like if we're bringing it back to music, like let's say you are your favorite artist you just found out is anorexic, and you're like,
that was actually what started the study, was an anorexia study.
Really?
Yeah.
But your whole life you didn't think you had anorexia, but when you found out your favorite singer or artist had it, you're like, well, maybe I've got it too.
Yeah.
You don't.
Well, that's what it was, because I believe it was in China, Hong Kong, I believe. But there was like so few cases of anorexia happening, like almost a nominal amount. And then one very famous case happened. I believe it was a superstar of some sort, and that person had it. And then all of a sudden, all of these people started popping up like, "Oh, I have anorexia."
Yeah. Well,
And it spread like that. It was almost like the fashionable disease.
it's like the cool thing to have.
Yeah.
So then going back to what she had said, in my country we don't have those things. So is it something with like maybe
There could be factors here also that
yeah,
they don't have to
food,
deal with.
You got to think, food, people don't think about it, but a lot of the food that we eat, does kind of, some of that stuff does mess with your mental health, man.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely, yeah. I mean, we all have microplastics in our brain.
yes, and I've always used this example. I just remember being in Mexico, and oysters is one of my favorite foods. But when I had them in Mexico, I almost didn't like them. I'm like, what's happening to me right now? I almost thought I had COVID. I thought I had COVID because I was like, wait, oysters is it was one of my favorite foods, and I'm like, it doesn't taste right, and I'm like, oh god, I'm coming down with COVID. Turns out, no, it's just fresh, right out of literally, literally a dude walking in like, no, here's your oyster. And in America, I'm like, then what's the difference, man?
Oh, we over season everything. We love seasoning in America.
Well, these are raw though. I'm talking straight, straight out of the thing. What's that about?
I don't know, but so many people say, "Oh, I went to Mexico. Like, I thought I was gonna get all this traditional Mexican food, and it was so bland. It didn't have the taste." It's like,
that wasn't my experience.
oh yeah.
Hell
They're
no.
probably catering in the area you
tourists.
were in. We're catering to tourists.
Probably.
Yeah. But so many countries, they don't over season things, especially if you have a good food supply.
Yeah.
Seasoning came about because of people having to eat food that was a little dated.
Yeah.
Because refrigeration and things like that. So you add a bunch of seasoning to it to cover up the bad taste of something getting old. And that became tradition throughout the years. And in America, we got to the point where everything is just seasoned to death.
Well, not only that, but in Mexico, like, it's illegal to use a lot of the preservatives
that's an
that
issue
we
also.
use here. And to bring this back to music, I want to. Is there a certain a certain genre of music that when you listen to and I'm hoping you got an answer because I've got one here. But is there a certain genre of music that you listen to that makes you depressed? or makes you feel down, or makes you feel like
Yeah.
what would that be?
Grunge.
All right. So for me, it would be like emo, emotional, emo type music.
Emo rap, subgenres. Yeah.
Okay.
Like some of Typo Negative stuff.
Yes.
When Peter was getting old or older, and he was going through a really deep depression, you listen to that music and you can feel the depression
Right.
in that. So,
and even like with Kate Bush, I want every song that we've checked by Kate Bush, I get emotional or some sort, whether it be depression or it brings out an emotion. But that's not really a mental thing, is it? And where I'm going here is because is there any music that you listen to that makes you just want to punch something, like brings like it just triggers something in your brain?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. To the club.
I knew he was gonna say that.
To the club. I bet you won't hit him.
But
tell me that don't make you want to hit
it definitely do. But now back to the food thing. Is there any music that you listen to that makes you hungry? Like you got anger, you've got love, you got depression, you've got sadness. Music. Is there nothing? Salsa, really?
Yeah.
I was thinking like
I think about eating salsa.
Oh Lord. I was thinking like a opera.
Really?
I think of the Sopranos just eating pasta in the Italian operas. You walk in there.
Well, that's how it happens. Like you associate it with an experience you had, and I think of like mariachis and things like that. I'm at the Mexican restaurant, so it makes me kind of hungry in that way. But I wouldn't say like, oh, I just heard this new music that's not attached to any memory that made me hungry.
It's just so crazy because how, and speaking to the mental illness thing, you know how bad rap was attacked and Eminem was attacked and even Marilyn Manson was attacked, and the reason these bad things happened at these schools, you know what I mean? Was because you're listening to Eminem. You're listening. The reason my kid did that was because of those music. I don't think you've ever heard of someone, the reason my kid weighs 400 pounds is because he's been listening to opera. Like it's the music that's making him eat. What?
Yeah, you can't really blame that one like you can for the mass incidences. But.
Yeah, even depression. Like the reason he's so depressed, he's listening to a dead.
Well, there is something to that. I mean, you turn on a Cypress Hill CD, what does that make you want to do?
Want to smoke?
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Sterling, and all our trash talkers out there.
Yeah. So I mean, there is something to it, and people tried to blame GTA. Several times. They're still blaming that because there's so many things of violence going on with the. Yeah.
And not only that, but I mean, most entertainment. You know what I mean? Like, the reason.
See, here's the thing. Like, if the kid is not genetically inclined to do it, a song is not going to make them do it.
Right.
But if they have that in them, a certain song can unlock that.
Yeah. So again, Krista, you liked our personal stories. I'll throw a personal story out there real quick. Y'all know I'm open about my previous addiction. I'm an addict. I will always be an addict, and I was addicted to one point. When I hear screwed and chopped music, which is one of my favorite genres, it instantly takes me to thinking about syrup, which isn't a good thing, but it's one of those things I tie to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there has to be, like, is there anything like what's a genre where it makes your mental brain just be like, I'm happy? I guess like for real, pop, maybe.
Because of the song, I'm happy.
It makes you just want to do this.
If you feel like a room without.
But what's crazy is if you pitch that down to about 100, and I'm happy,
and then it does the opposite.
I know, but it's like for some reason I don't know why I like it, but I like it, man. I don't know.
Yeah. And it makes you want to do certain things.
Yeah. Maybe that, but is that a bad thing? If like let's say with the
that's just it. Like the artist feels these certain emotions, and they convey the emotions that they have to the audience. So if the audience is inclined to feel those emotions, hopefully they're going to feel those emotions.
Yeah, it's like not only that, I was thinking maybe hey, if you do have a tendency, like you said, maybe it's in your brain that just hasn't been unlocked. Like if you have a tendency to be angry, well, hey, let's how can we not get you to not be angry? Well, listen to a Ted Closer. Throw some chairs. Let that music get your anger.
Get it out through that.
Through the music.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, that's the thing though. Some people it will, and some people it will make them do the action.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I've defended music my whole life
Yeah,
because
same
I've listened to some pretty wild stuff. And I've always said, a lot of times that's what it is. It's exposing a certain lifestyle or a certain part of society, hoping that the listener will not go through that stuff. And a lot of artists' intentions are that.
Yeah.
Like, you expose it to the audience saying, look, this is hell. You do not want to do this.
Yeah.
And that's the message you hope to convey with it.
But like you said, some
But
of those
some people take it in a glorification way.
Or some people might even look like, I don't believe you. Like my parents been telling, remember the reefer madness? Oh, it's bad for you.
Oh,
now
yeah.
you can find it everywhere for medical
Yeah.
treatments.
About at the gas station.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, you're telling me about your story. You're telling me this is bad. How do I know you ain't one of them reefer madness people? Let me go try it. You have the yin and yang. You
Yeah.
have the people that are gonna believe. And dude, we could go in so many different directions here because if you look at man, it also plays a. Like Playboi Carti just recently dropped a new album, right? Everyone's buzzing over it, but he wears like all black and like crop top shirt. He paints his nails black, which is cool. I know that was part of the metal genre, punk genre back in the day.
Yeah.
But you doing that, I know we're not supposed to judge books by the cover, but if you're listening to Playboi Carti, you're dressing like Playboi Carti, and then you go out in public and people don't want to look at you, people don't want to talk to you.
That's on purpose, yeah.
I mean, and then with those people, by you just listening to that artist, dressing like that artist, people not wanting to talk to you because they think you're a freak, God forbid, but then eventually that's going to mess with that person's mental. Like, why does no one want to talk to me?
It kind of keeps the spiral going down. You're like, okay, I associate with this image, with this type of music and the image that goes along with that. So I want to do that because it makes me feel more natural. It makes me feel at home. And then you do that, and then you cut off yourself socially from people by doing that, which drives you further down into that depression.
It's like if you listen to it, it's cool to jam it, but if you want to go down that hole, you got to deal with those ramifications.
You have to learn balance.
Yes.
Like, that's the problem. And a lot of artists throughout history couldn't find that balance. Kurt Cobain, you think of him, that's the big one, right? That he was firmly implanted in that subculture in Seattle, and the depression went right along with that, and he could never pull himself out of that.
And his music reflected it. Same with Elliott Smith, right there in Seattle. Always depressed. I mean, he made an album called "From a Basement on a Hill," where it was literally made by himself on a basement on a hill, which he ended up taking his own life. But it's like you're preaching it. So what does that say about emo rappers or
I mean, we do emo rap.
And it's like, are we eventually gonna fall down that hole, or we're just gonna fall back into depression?
You could, but see. To the artist, it's an outlet.
Yeah, that's a fact.
To get that out, it's almost like therapy. You get it out, so you're not holding it inside. It's like in the case of Kurt, though, it just wasn't enough. And certain substances will add to it and make it even worse.
Let me ask you this then. So Michael Jackson, he passed from the propofol thing. So with him being one of the biggest artists ever, do you think his drug use had anything to do with mental illness? Like, because his music is like, everybody wants to moonwalk, but why him?
I think he had a lot of mental issues. Not saying anything bad about Michael Jackson, one of the greatest artists of all time.
But in the music, he didn't show it.
No, he did not. He didn't use it as an outlet.
That's what that's where I was going there.
Yeah, he was more about making stuff that, it was almost like he was just giving to everyone else. Like, I'm just making people happy. I may not be happy inside, but I am making music that's making everyone else happy except for me.
Man.
That's another route that artists can take.
Yeah, man. I mean, I know you say there's a balance, and it is a balance with everything, but
you have to find balance in your life, man.
That's what I'm saying. Is that not just life? Like, you eat too many. Doritos are great. Just had some before we started the podcast. I'm not going to eat 7 bags. I mean, that's not going to be good for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you have to find things that make you happy, but don't overdo it. Because then it's just going to feed in the opposite direction, man.
Do you think we're more prone, or do you think artists are more prone to that, being artists? Like, you find something that gives you a little bit of gratification, makes you a little bit happier, and because we have that artistic side in us, it's like...
We go overboard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's with the substances, right?
I mean, anything.
You find a substance that makes you happy, and then you're like, oh, man, I'll feel great if I just do this every day.
Yeah.
Then after a while, you're like, I'm doing it to feel normal again.
That's when you know.
Then after a while, you're like, all right, I'm going to quit, and then you can't.
That's when you got a problem, man. Mm-hmm. Man, it makes me wonder, like, with the Michael Jackson thing, when did he start doing all that? Like, if it was around
That's a good question.
Beat It days,
I don't know. I mean, it may have been later in life.
Blood on the Dance Floor days, maybe.
He had the money to do whatever he wanted, though.
That's also okay. Man, let's talk about that, because with some artists who are so successful, whether it be from music, movies, paintings, whatever, specifically talking about music here, but if an artist who has so much money, the Kisses, the Beatles, the Michael Jacksons, the Princes, they literally have they can do anything with the amount of money that they have. Like that, the money could be a bad part too to mess with your mental illness. Yeah. And you know what? I guess the greatest line to say to that is money can't buy
happiness. I mean, it really can't. You have to find happiness through balance in life, and that's the thing. When you can afford everything, you feel at the time like this thing brings me joy. Yeah. I'm just gonna do it every day so that I'll always be happy. And then you find out that overindulgence does not make you happy. But you have the money to keep up that lifestyle, right?
That's the thing. Like, I'm trying to think, because you had said Michael Jackson was one of the ones who didn't use his work to convey it. Like, can you think of another artist that passed or went through a terrible time that just, other than Michael Jackson?
That wasn't making depressing music?
Yeah, like, yes. That was going,
I mean... You could say Prince, but...
I was gonna what's he gonna do, though?
Yeah, exactly. Through a certain substance that is taking out a lot of people these days.
I don't know. Purple Rain that song will make you cry, bro.
Yeah, that's true. he conveyed emotions more than Michael Jackson did.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, it felt like, and I'm not, like, exploring deep cuts on Michael Jackson albums, but the songs that I know, he's not, like, it's just all happy music. Well, it's just like, I gotta make hits that make people happy. Yeah. And of course he had ghostwriters also.
I mean, I'm thinking about Annie, Are You Okay? I'm like, or I'm Bad.
Yeah, but it's a fictional story, though.
It's so crazy, man.
Bad was him trying to keep up with the rappers of the day.
Which was a great song, man.
It was, yeah.
I mean... If you could say that is a mental illness. Like, Michael, you know damn well you ain't bad. You know damn well you ain't bad.
Bro, you weigh 110 pounds. Like, I don't know if you ever fought anybody in your life.
Your butt is mine. Nobody's believing you. Nobody's believing you, bro. And rest in peace to the GOAT.
I don't know. Maybe he took some martial arts or something. He wore them karate shoes, man.
That fool took that kind of martial arts where you just touch people and it's just
what is it?
Jeet Kune Do or something like.
That was Bruce Lee, but it was something where you use the chi to knock the person out.
Just that McDojo life stuff.
Exactly.
Y'all know what you know. But no,
the Bushido.
Yeah, Bushido. That's what he took. He was a third-degree black belt in Bushido.
Man, not trying to disparage Michael Jackson.
Let's leave
not trying to disparage him at all because he was one of the greatest of all time.
Of all time, man. Mm-hmm. But man, like, now I don't know why Elvis is in my head now. Because I mean, Elvis just makes you want to boogie. But then he
had a lot of cause he did a lot of blues also.
Yeah,
blues and soul, like.
But it didn't really, cause he died on the pooper from a heart attack, right?
Oh yeah, well.
I know there's some suspicious.
Yeah, well. I mean, he was self-medicating, of course, and he had doctor's scripts from multiple doctors, and he had the money to pay them for it. But his thing was, certain substances that we can't really say on YouTube, but it's the epidemic that everybody talks about right now. Certain substances cause constipation, right? So he got so constipated that he basically ruptured a nerve, or not a nerve, but a vein.
God,
I believe it was.
Was he strength pushing that hard?
Yeah.
God, that.
So I guess I don't know if he finally got it out or what.
Godly.
He stood up to walk away and fell over.
Oh my God, I just could hear. Because I know
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
I know
what you're talking about so
Yeah,
much. It's
I
like
do too.
when it comes out, it's just like,
Dude.
You think? Let me shut up.
Yeah. Like a baseball bat, man.
Bloop.
Oh. But yeah.
Let's move
That's
on.
a little too far off
move on
into
from
the
that.
corner right there.
Yeah, man. I mean, again, with anything, dude, whether it be pop, jazz, country, folk, at the end of the day, we all go through stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We all go through stuff, and we may use music as a way to cope out of it.
Yeah.
We may use food to get out of it. Substances.
Yeah.
I mean, if I would have to argue, music might be the safest way to go. It's the safest way to take care. If you don't want to take medication, you don't want to overindulge, and music
A lot of
happens.
people use talk therapy though.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're an artist, if you're capable of making music, that's the best therapy for an artist, is to make more music.
So would you encourage more people who aren't artists, like, and you have a mental illness? Would you encourage people like, hey, just try something, try to make a song, try to paint something?
Oh,
try
yeah.
to, like, you may not think you have it until
Absolutely,
you
because
try
you
it.
might have a hidden talent
that you don't
that
know.
you didn't know yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Or content creation these days. It's so easy.
Turn your camera on.
Yeah.
That's it.
Talk.
That's it.
Just sit down and talk
Talk.
to your camera. If 5 people watch it first, then who cares? You're getting it out.
Yeah. And
You don't have to have a huge audience just to put out content.
No, and that may be a big stress reliever, because talking is a stress reliever. There are people who literally get paid to listen to you.
Yeah.
Just to
Yeah,
listen.
absolutely. Talk therapy. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, if you sit here and just talk to your camera, like Smokey said, there might have been 5 people.
Yeah.
Use that as therapy.
Go do karaoke if you feel like it.
Go do karaoke.
Yeah.
Have you ever done karaoke?
Never have.
Neither have I.
No.
Never have I.
Isn't that crazy though? Because every time I've been somewhere where there's a karaoke going on, everybody's like, "You have to do it. Go ahead."
Yeah,
Like,
because
I
you're the
don't wanna
rapper
do
out the
that.
group. No.
Like, I make my own music. Why do I need to get up here and sing someone else's?
Curious if any trash talkers out there still enjoy doing karaoke. Because I'm the same way. It's like I've never...
Yeah,
Like,
never had a want to.
Yeah, like... And I've been to karaoke bars, and it's just like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I mean...
Like, I've made 500 songs. I don't know that I really need to, but I'm not discrediting it for anyone who loves that, because that's a great way to do it. If you just feel like you can't write your own songs and you want to perform, do karaoke.
Do karaoke.
It's great.
You know, I wanna tie into something else, man. We talking about, artistry and artists in music, but comedy is also a form of art.
Oh, absolutely.
And dude, some of the biggest comedians have some
The greatest comedy comes from the darkest places.
That's a fact.
That
dude.
is a great quote. I don't even know who said it first.
And it's so it's so funny because the comedy symbol, or usually the
laughing.
Yeah, the laughing.
The
you got
theater.
laughing and
Yeah,
the smiling.
mask.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like theater and arts, but it's like,
Wasn't it comedy and drama, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
It's one of those things. I mean, the hell, it's called drama.
Yeah.
We're doing drama today.
Yeah.
You're getting up there pretending to be something that you're not, or telling stories that you're not, or trying to make people laugh when inside you're probably crying yourself, man.
Yeah.
Comedians might have it worse than artists if you think about it, bro.
Oh, they might, yeah. Yeah, because, they use their pain to make people laugh.
Yeah, but that's the same thing as with Michael Jackson. Like, he's just making people happy, but
Yeah.
inside, it's like,
Exactly.
like,
Yeah. So it may actually be more therapeutic for people like us who
Yeah.
actually put out what we're thinking.
Yeah.
We sit down and write songs of what we are thinking and what we're trying to get out of our head.
And not only that, man, but I also think, with us, like, we ain't trying to be all serious. I mean, it's not fun when you're just like, we don't want to, like,
Yeah.
I want to be fun. Let's laugh. Let's joke. Let's
Yeah.
make jokes. And the reason that is because laughter is one of the best medicines, man. It's like, if we were just sitting here, all right, next song, cool. This is what's happening, cool.
Yeah,
Man,
exactly.
I'm trying to have fun
What
with
fun
it.
is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's part of finding that balance, man. You got to do the things that make you happy. And abstract labor,
Oh God.
abstract labor is what makes a lot of people happy. Creating content.
It's so crazy because like,
Even if you do manual labor,
that's what I was about to say.
Doing abstract labor on the side can be really therapeutic.
You think there are some people out there who's just like, man, going out here changing this engine on this random person's car because I've been a mechanic for 12 years is my greatest form of therapy. You think there's a mechanic out there like that? You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
or what about it? What about a dude that like you know like in some of the northern states like New York like they have guys that pump your gas for you.
Yeah.
Like you think he's like, God dang it, this is making my anxiety go away.
Hey man,
ma'am, you're all full up.
Some people find pleasure in strange things, and if it's a monotonous manual labor job that just makes you happy, then that's probably a great gift, and you should use it.
If it works, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I would think the most monotonous,
button
boring
pushers.
thing would be like an assembly line.
Yes. But
or
like
some kind of warehouse.
I just
work.
can't fathom a person like seeing like you know how assembly line. So you got all right. If you see a blue top, you need to pull it out. The tops are supposed to be red. So you're looking at red, just looking for one. Oh, there's one blue. Like God, I'm yes. God, I found it.
I did something today. Imagine that though. You eventually everything's gonna look like this blurs going by. You're just like, I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore.
But according to what you said earlier, there's somebody out there who's
somebody's gonna enjoy it. There's
somebody's looking at it. Come on, where's the blue? Where's the God? Yeah.
There's so many of us. I mean, I would dare to say more than 90% of us do jobs that we don't enjoy because we need to make the money.
Yeah.
That's why I do your abstract work on the side.
Yeah. Or another good saying, they say, do a job that you'll never hate and you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
I mean, let me know where that job's at. I mean,
what was the saying? Like, do what you love and the money will come? Not always.
Yeah,
doesn't always happen. But if you stick with it, it just might.
And the money may not come, but your happiness might.
Your happiness.
It may. It's something you enjoy to do.
Keep working on the things you love, and stay away from substances that make you feel good only for a short period of time, because it eventually will not anymore.
All right, let's step out of music and artistry for a second. Let's talk about Elon Musk.
Okay.
And without going too deep, but God, maybe I'm bringing it up. What I'm saying is, okay.
That's a controversial subject.
Okay. I'm trying to. Okay, let's take Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay.
Astrophysicist, I think, right? I mean, you think. Like you can just tell he loves it, right?
Off on space, man.
That's what I'm saying.
God, I don't think anybody's ever loved space more than this man.
Dude, God, we could go so many places there, dude. Like think about Martin Shkreli. What he did, he loved the money, but you're hurting so many people.
Oh yeah, he ruined some people's lives.
But does that make us bad for saying, bro? That's making him happy. His anxiety's gone, but you're hurting so many other people. So does that make us?
Yeah. Oh, that is wrong. Yeah.
But
I mean, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, means without ruining other people's lives, without taking away other people's happiness.
Man, so you think Martin Shkreli should not be doing that? Should not be happy? You think it should not?
Yeah, he can be happy. Just don't do stuff that ruins other people's lives.
But that's what makes me happy.
Well, then I don't feel for you actually.
All right, so what?
I don't care. Don't do it.
All right, so I agree with you, but let's throw Elon in there. Like Elon's wanting to, he's building all these. Yeah,
build stuff.
Fly, travel, and people are like, dude, like stop. Taxes are going up, but to him that makes him happy. Like, is that?
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Yeah, it's such a double-edged sword. Because
it is. It really is, because we also know he's the one that said AI will eventually destroy us all,
and he's continuing to do.
But he's the front of the line working on it.
And to actually punch myself in the face here is you could also say, well, Hollywood, if there's a person out there who likes to diddle little. But if they're happy, should they continue to be happy? No, they shouldn't be happy. No, you shouldn't. No. So that's
the pursuit of happiness doesn't involve making other people unhappy. I mean, it can if you feel that twisted in your head, but it shouldn't, because that is a happiness you should not pursue.
So let's take us for example. we get some comments where people are like, "This absolutely sucks." Like, so
well,
look at it.
thing.
Hold on, wait. Look at it from their point of view.
Yeah,
they're watching something that they absolutely hate. To them,
why?
But hold on. To them, we are ruining their lives. They think me and you were Elon, and but we're just. So, do they have the right to tell us that we're not happy because we're ruining their lives?
I don't care if they do, to tell you the truth. I mean, sometimes it's funny. Like, some people make some hilarious comments.
Some of them are great, man. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, yeah. Well, here's the thing, man. When you complain about entertainment, when you complain about other people's abstract labor, their content creation, the easiest fix in the world would be don't watch it.
All right, hold on. All right, I'm playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
What if that's what makes him happy is to
make to be you unhappy about it?
No, I don't like it, but it makes me happy to show you that I don't like what you're doing. So it makes me happy to do that.
Like that's therapeutic for some people because they
hate
watching is a huge thing on the internet these days. Like I see it mostly wrestling more than anything. I would say people will watch wrestling and be so mad that they can't control the storyline that they just blast this over and over. I hate this show. This is the worst show that's ever existed on Earth. And I'm like, why are you still watching?
But again,
why are you watching something you hate?
So the reason they're doing that, money. Floyd Mayweather is one of the best boxers of all time. Mm-hmm. People, and he's the greatest. Other boxers will say, dude, Floyd's the best.
Yeah.
People, they paid. The reason Floyd gets paid $500, $600 million a fight, they don't go there to watch him win.
No, they want to watch him lose.
They want to watch you lose. So
Muhammad Ali knew that.
Wrestling, with wrestling,
they exploited that for
that's what
so
I'm saying.
Long.
Hate. A lot of people don't understand this, man, but hate is what sells.
Combat sports is big with that. Yeah, people will pay to watch someone else beat you. Yeah.
Yes, that's. Again, if you ain't got haters, you ain't doing something right, dude. Because you can. That's the easy. Again, how Elvis did the best example. I've said it before. You want to tell them again about the buttons? Elvis profited off that more than anybody, and it was genius.
Yeah, you sell to both markets.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they like you, sell to them. If they dislike you, sell to them
too.
Express your opinion how much you don't like me.
All my fans out here,
genius.
That is genius, dude. Here's my buttons right here. If you like it, man, go Elvis, go Elvis.
Yeah.
Well, what about the people who don't like it? You know what?
I got something for you,
There's
too.
a button for you, too, then. You know what? Screw Elvis. Hey, where'd you buy that button from, though?
From Elvis.
Exactly. So,
that's hilarious.
It's crazy, but are they exploiting those people? Like, they're
I mean,
no.
They wanted the button. I mean, you didn't force them to buy it.
To hate them, though.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant,
genius,
man. Look, to all our haters out there, we welcome you in. Please, welcome in.
I mean, personally, I don't know why you watch something you hate, but I guess you do you.
If y'all ain't, send them our way. Send them our way. We'll take them. You can send as many hate comments as you want, as many hate views as you want. Bring them on.
I mean, most of them are going to be blocked by YouTube anyway.
And we know the tribe, y'all rock with us. So 90, I'll say 98%.
Oh, yeah. We get overwhelming great comments, and we really do appreciate that.
But god dang, that 2%.
2%, yeah. You notice the 2%.
You do.
Because that's out of the ordinary.
Yes, you know.
But that's the thing is a lot of them are only doing it because they're like, this is going to get noticed when I say this.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it doesn't, to tell you the truth, because they get blocked by YouTube and we never see them.
Yeah, and sometimes I want to I'll heart some of them. Like, good job, buddy. You got it. You got it.
You got it.
Along with the 90,000 other good video guys. You know what? You're included too. Instead
it's like the comments where it's just comment after comment. This is a great song. This is a fire song. Then that one guy, this is absolutely unequivocally the worst song that ever existed. That is a undisputable fact. And it's like,
why watch
95% just said it was great.
But again, music is subjective. Maybe he doesn't like it.
But they're expressing it. This is an undisputable fact.
You know what?
No.
You're going to get a like over here too, buddy. I know the tribe too. Y'all going to go after. Man, the tribe is vicious at some comments,
sometimes,
dude.
Yeah.
They'll go in, dude. They'll be like...
Yeah, because as a viewer, as a fan of something, we're all fans of lots of things.
Yeah.
when you love something, you're like, man, this is great. This is my thing. This is my jam. I love this thing. And then you see that one person that's just like, this is garbage.
Like, why are you ruining the fun?
Yeah, like, no, this is great. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Of course you want to defend that.
It's so crazy because you don't see those people like in real life. Like,
no.
Let's say me and you are at a Rob Zombie concert. We're out there. You don't see a dude out there and just one person with a megaphone with a banner. Rob Zombie sucks. He would get probably obliterated out there, man.
Absolutely.
It's like it's cool behind.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's how it is, man. I've met haters that in real life.
Me too. And then when you
like,
meet them,
oh man, I didn't think you would ever read that.
Or not only that, I've met haters, dude. I ain't gonna say his name, but TNT. I'll just leave it at that. But we would go back and forth, and it got to the point where. But then when you
see him,
he was like, "Ah, man, what's up?" I'm like, I thought you wanted to fight, exactly. Like, I was ready to swing, but
told me how you wanted to beat me up so bad.
All right, cool.
And now you want to be my friend.
And then 2 days later, Billy did a song with him, and I produced it.
Yeah.
Like we were supposed to. Yeah, man. Guys, we went. This is the beauty of the Trash Talkers podcast. Mm-hmm. We started out talking. Can you tie it in somehow?
Yeah.
Mental illness and music and the haters.
If you are still watching something you absolutely hate that you can't stand, there's probably an unchecked mental illness in there, and you might want to get that looked at.
But if you are still here, hit that thumbs up button, my friend. And thanks for the views. 100%.
Yeah, and keep on, doing the things that are therapeutic, and always find balance in your life.
100%, man. You got anything else for the Trash Talkers
this week? That's it for this week, man.
That's it for this week. Again, guys, leave your comments below. The top 3 comments will be read on the next podcast. And with that being said, my name is Smokey Hollywood 6. Bye.
I am Larry Smokey Ramirez Cowboy.
And we are.
Out. Deuces. Yeah, boy.
41 minutes.
Yeah.